Welcome to Badger Beer Report. Great Taste Ticket Sales 26. It's that time of year again where we ramp up to uh, one of the best beer festivals, if not the best beer festival in America, the Great Taste of the Midwest, held here in Madison, Wisconsin, at the wonderful Olin Park. Olin Turnbull, right? Yeah. Uh, the second week of August every year. And this year, as we have been joined the past few years, I'm bringing on the chairman of the Great Taste of the Midwest, uh, Doug Randall. What's
Hey,
going
Greg,
on,
how are
Doug?
you?
How are you doing? Good, good.
Yeah, I'm doing
So a
well.
lot of things going on. It's a busy time again, right? Right. So we're here to talk about the tickets and so the second week in uh, uh wow, my graphic is wrong here, y'all. It's August the 8th, right?
Yep, August 8th, 2026 this year.
All right, all right. Um, this is not wrong though. So let's start here. Tickets are on sale when and what's going on?
So May 3rd is when tickets go on sale this year. It's the day before Star Wars Day. It is the first Sunday in May, and that is an in perpetuity date for us. We do that every year, so people just didn't know, they know when to count on us for those amazing tickets for our wonderful festival that is held at Olin Park. You had it right. Olin Park is on John Nolan Drive in Madison, Wisconsin, and is adjacent to the Turville Conservancy, which is where people get that whole Olin Park thing from. But it's actually Olin Park.
Okay, okay, all right. And so we have a. I just want to dive in with you to the ticket lottery. So
Yeah.
the in person sales. I've talked to Greg about that. And he is the head of the online. He's the head of the in person ticket sales. So y'all can shift over there for that, or it'll come right here in this video here. But so we'll fast forward to, is there, okay, so before that, are the same amount of tickets this year? Is it the same overall process? Did anything change? Especially with, and then we'll get into you can move that into the lottery part.
Yeah, absolutely. The same format for in-person sales as well as lottery as we did last year. So each of the sites, and I'll let Greg talk to that when you have that conversation with him. But we're in the same places with the same ticket volumes for each of those sites. And then our lottery we're running it from the same way that we did last year. From a percentage basis, there may be some subtle change in the fee structure. I doubt that it's going to be anything significant, pennies at most. But that lottery runs from 10 a.m. on Monday, as you've got on the screen there, May 4th to Friday, May 8th at 10 p.m. And it's all the same, right? There's no advantage to getting in there early. You don't have to worry about a website crash. Just make sure that you get your lottery entry in by 10 p.m. on May 8th. And then you'll be good to go. And then we draw from the lottery the following week, and we are an all-volunteer organization. So we have a team of order fulfillment that will put physical tickets in envelopes, and we mail them out because we are beholden to our traditions. And that physical ticket is an embossment on it. And so that's one of the security procedures that we have for the tickets. So if you're buying tickets and somebody says they're going to email them to you, that's not a real ticket. We only deal in physical tickets.
Okay. I would love to give you the opportunity to talk about what happens if you don't get a ticket in the lottery or you're not able to make it in person.
If you're not able to make it in person and you don't get a ticket in the lottery, there is a secondary market on Facebook. We have one place where we have some structure to that secondary market, and it is our Facebook group. It's technically a private group, and that's what it needs to be in the land of Meta, right? So that we have some control over bots and scalpers and things like that. And so we will have, as in prior years, a specific thread for ticket exchanges. And we do not support anything other than face value for tickets. That face value can include fees that someone may have paid for the tickets in order to get them. And we'll put that out there so that people know exactly what they should expect to pay and to not pay for that matter.
Excellent. And I don't, I have some ticket questions for you at the end. Let's get to, you said, I wanted to love the segue to, you said that the Great Taste is an all volunteer put on event, right? So you want to talk about the volunteers, how much that, what that looks like. And I think you want to talk about, talking to people about, volunteering.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have more members and volunteers, and we have more volunteers and members. It's kind of a unique situation. We have approximately 330 members. Not all of them volunteer. We have approximately 650 volunteers. So we've got more volunteers than we have members. That doesn't mean that we're not always in a little bit of attrition, as any organization is, where we've got people that moved away, got tired, whatever, and aren't interested in volunteering anymore. So if you're interested in volunteering, volunteers at greattaste.org is just as Greg has on his screen here. And when you email us, don't please just say, I'd like to volunteer. I need more information. Any strengths that you would like to talk to us about, that you're great at lifting heavy things. We need 100 people for that job to do keg load in on Saturday morning. As well as keg reception on Friday evening when brewers show up and drop off their kegs with us. But we also have jobs that are sit down. So if there are restrictions that you need observed, please let us know those as well when you email us at volunteers@greattaste.org. Give us your contact information so that we can reach out to you. Email is generally best. We are, again, all volunteers. So there is not a number that you can call and talk to someone because we're all volunteers. We all have, very busy schedules going on.
And that is available to everybody right now, right?
Absolutely. People can volunteer at any time. If they end up getting a ticket, and they could sell that ticket, or they could invite a friend. But we always need volunteers. And just because you email us does not guarantee you a volunteer spot either. Like I said, we have some attrition, but we've also got a lot of returning volunteers that have been doing it in various capacities for many, many years.
Excellent. So I have some, is there anything else about, it's pretty straightforward and really, a lot of our, we have a lot of return folks, right? But we do have an interesting number every year of new folks. I don't think we have, or do you have those numbers exactly? It's hard to nail that down, right?
It is a little tough to nail down. We are still in the process of finalizing the brewery list, and we always strive for a certain percentage of rookie breweries that have never attended the fest before. When a brewery gets sold or bought by someone else, if there was any kind of seniority or longevity that they may have had because they came every year for many, many years, that does not transfer with the sale of the brewery, unfortunately. And some people like to think that it does, but it does not. You're back to square one, and we do a weighted lottery. It used to be an ordinal wait list where people, you sat on the wait list until your number came up. These days we run a rookie lottery, and then we separately run a general lottery for breweries that have been there before, but maybe not recently. So we try and get as many fresh faces as we can, but we also want to have those gold standard breweries that everybody's there to see, and Founders, Goose Island, Dark Horse, all those names that we all love.
Yeah. So I want to take the opportunity here to tee you up on, the charity angle of the club that puts on the Great Taste and where a lot of this money goes and all that.
Absolutely, Greg. So the Great Taste of the Midwest is the second largest, second oldest beer festival in the country. We believe it is actually probably North America, not just the country. And we are the largest all-volunteer beer festival in North America. And by all-volunteer, I mean nobody gets paid. Breweries are paying employees, of course, to be there, but None of us get paid, not even me as the chairman. As an organization, the Madison Homebrewers and Tasters Guild that puts on the club and has for 39 years as of this year, we do $35,000 as our current charitable giving budget, and we use a rubric to decide who gets what money. But they are all not-for-profit organizations that need sponsorship. They need help. And we're thrilled that we can put this world-class event on and offer that $35,000 in charitable giving. Charitable giving requests are sent to us by our members, our club members. And we, as I said, go through a rubric to decide how active is this member? Is this beer related? Not everything needs to be beer related. We do a lot of work with substance abuse programs as well as food equity. Various food banks in the area benefit from some of the charitable giving that we're able to provide.
Real quick, y'all, before I get to the next question, I wanted to make sure y'all know that down at the scroll at the bottom there is the tickets to all the information for the ticket sales, in person, lottery, and all that. And then up here is the QR code that you can use to go right to that webpage too. So one of the things that I don't think, QR code. And one of the things I don't think we've ever talked about, but I'm going to hit you with here is, with the physical tickets on Sunday, May the 3rd, and there's 6 venues there, and we talked about them with Greg, but with that, because they all have events, it seems like, and then we have the pre-taste events too. I would like for you to talk about if you have any idea or any kind of knowledge from your point of view about the economic impact that these things have on our local industry here in Wisconsin, or in Madison specifically.
Yeah. So, and it's not just Madison, it's definitely, South Central Wisconsin that benefits from it. Our estimated economic impact based on a 2016 study that we did as an organization and adjusted for inflation and things that you adjust for is around $2.2 million. So we were definitely here, and everybody from hotels to various establishments are able to benefit from that. There's a lot of Great Taste Eve events, and we put those up on our website, the greattaste.org site. There is Great Taste Eve as one of the sub pages to that site. I have no idea what people are doing. I know that there are some usual contenders that are always out there. For example, Lucille, who does great pizza at the corner of Pinckney and Maine. It's right in that corner. I forget which streets they're actually sitting on.
I think
Pinckney
you're
and
right.
Maine. No, Pinckney and King. Yeah. There it is, Pinckney and King. They partner with Central Waters Brewing and do a huge tap takeover. Donuts and Darkness always happens at Tipsy Cow. So is it Surly that has Darkness? I never remember if it's Surly that has Darkness or Dark Lord, and Three Floyds is the other one of the two. Yeah.
Three Floyds is Dark
Lord. Hear about it from one of the breweries.
Right. Three Floyds, I think, is Dark Floyd. Yeah,
I think Three Floyds is Dark Lord, so Three Floyds is found at Argus, which is at the corner of Webster in Maine, and then Surly is Darkness at Tipsy Cow.
Yeah,
King and Maine.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of chatter sometimes around, what does this beer festival do for our community, right? Or what do breweries do for our community, right? And I don't think people hear those numbers or see those numbers enough to be respectfully informed enough to have these conversations.
Yeah, $35,000 is not a small thing. It costs a lot of money to put on a festival of this scale. So when people start looking at how many tickets do we sell and how much do the tickets cost, it looks like we make a fat pile of cash. But the reality is that our operating budget allows us to do $35,000 in charitable giving.
I'm actually talking about the $2 million. That's what I'm
talking about. $2 million in economic impact is everybody.
Yeah, with the impact and all these events and all the buzz around the event. I mean, the event alone does the 35,000 or whatever, right? But outside of that, we are bigger and badder and broader about this. And again, I just want to I wanted that number to be out there. It's great, and it's probably much more now because it's 10 years ago the study was, right? So
at the time it was a smaller study, so that number is adjusted as of, I think I looked at it a year ago, at 2.2 million. So
okay,
we're pretty confident of that number. People come from all over the country and frankly all over the world to come to the festival, and those people drive in, they fly in, they need a place to sleep, a place to eat, and all the things, right? They do some sightseeing, they do a lot of brewery visits, so they visit some of those breweries that host our ticket sales. That are also found at the festival, but a lot of those breweries, do a one-off beers for Great Taste Eve, or they'll do one-off beers for the ticket sale event, things like that. So there's a lot to see and do here in our great city. The Capitol is an amazing building, and it's a free tour. Walk around the Capitol while you're walking around downtown. And there's things all over the downtown area, but especially around the square. State Street, Cooper's Tavern, and that King Main corner is those are the hopping places.
Amen. I want to talk about. I would like to tee up to a little bit to talk about. Where is my question here for that? Oh yeah, the physical footprint and the consciousness of the club that puts it on, about the environment, and making sure that we return the park to the way that we found it, in the way that it is 364 days a year. How do y'all decide about more tents and rearranging the layout to accommodate the 1,400 plus beers or something like that we're going to be seeing there?
There's a lot of thought and planning that goes into it. We have long relationships with various vendors in the area. Bucky's Tents and Awning, for example, is who does our tent work. And we use more tents than I think they have. So they actually get tents sourced for us. We also use, all of the infrastructure that goes into the event. We think about where things are going to go based on traffic flow, pinch points, so that people can get through and not get stuck waiting in, dense crowds and things like that. We spread things out as much as we can. And then after the festival, the following day, Sunday, we go through the park and we clean up. We do things like using colored zip ties, right? We don't use forest green or black zip ties because those are impossible to find. So we use brightly colored zip ties, and we've got a whole army of people that come in and help sweep the grounds for the park and try and pick up every single thing, every cigarette butt, every spent zip tie you can find. And we're out there. We work with local Boy Scout troops in order to help get people that are a little closer to the ground and bend over easier than some of us old fogies. And we give them some support financially for their effort, and they come and help us clean up. And then after that, we work with Madison Parks to restore the turf, to make sure that it's where it needs to be. We reseed and things like that, areas that need it, so that we want to make sure that we are good stewards of Olin Park. It's a fabulous place for an event, and we look forward to and enjoy being a steward in that capacity.
Amen. And a lot of thought goes into the cleanup and just our impact. And what I mean by our, I mean the club's impact and the event's impact on the local area. It's just so beautiful, though. It's literally one of the best best settings of any beer festival. Doug, you already know. And so let's go to another important aspect of this, which is safety, which is the public safety, which is the safety of all attendees. And can you talk about let's fast forward to the day of, and the event is washing out here, and we don't have much parking close to the park for a reason. So I would like you to address that. Well, the reason is there's not much parking around there, y'all. But but there's there's another, this is the 39. 39.
Yeah, 39. So next year's our 40th year. We've got some things already in planning for next year to just make it special.
Absolutely.
But
so we've been doing this for a bunch of decades. So my point to what I really would like to get for you to get to is, I mean, obviously remark on what I just said, but really ultimately the ways out of there, the different avenues that the club gives, and the different avenues that we have as the public to get ourselves away from there safely, where none of us are driving any kind of vehicles.
So we do a few things. We have bike racks that are nearby so that people can ride a bicycle there and lock their bike up. I do not encourage people to ride their bike home. They should either walk their bike home, because drunk riding is also a criminal offense, just like drunk driving is. And you might not, cause the destruction that you might in a minivan taking a group of people home on a bicycle. However, you can still get yourself pretty hurt, and we're aware of that. In addition to that, we offer free shuttles, and we've got, I believe it's 6 sites this year that have shuttles, have arrangements with us for shuttles. And many of those locations do put on some special programming for that. Food to take with you when you come to the fest, dinner specials when you leave the festival and go back to your general area to pick up your vehicle. We really discourage people from driving when they're not ready yet. We also work with Union Cab, which is an employee-owned cab company here in Madison, Wisconsin. And the Union Cab is $5 per person, and then we ask you to tip responsibly. So if you would have taken a cab ride to Stoughton, Wisconsin, for example, that's an $80 cab ride, $80 to $90 cab ride. We want you to tip appropriately. Don't tip on the $5. Tip on what it would have been if you would have paid the full fare, please. Union Cab, they call it Cabby Christmas, because they get so much business from us, and we're happy to provide it, because we have a goal of making sure that we can do everything in our power to help people not drive and help people make good decisions. We could work with the Lion Energy Center for parking. We don't want to. We have zero interest in that, because we don't want to make it easier to bring a car there. Get a ride, take a ride share, or better yet, take a Union Cab or a free shuttle. Those are the ones we sponsor. While we do allow rideshare, Uber, Lyft, things like that to come into the park to drop you off, we do not allow them into the park to pick you up. So you're going to have to walk to a separate pickup point, because we have a relationship with Union Cab. That's who's allowed in the park, and that's it.
All right. So that makes it, pretty easy and simple. And I'm not sure, Doug, anything else here that we did not tackle here that you would like to talk about?
We're one of the only festivals that does a unique glass year over year. So we try very hard to make sure that we're using a glass that has never been done. We have very few repeats in that 39-year history. I can't say that there aren't any. There's a couple. So we've got a new glass this year. I'm not going to tell you what it looks like, because that's part of the magic. I'm also not going to tell you what the art looks like, because that's different every year. We use a unique logo every single year. And then we have a merch team that works through and decides what colors of apparel, based on what colors are in the logo, to put together for hats, sweatshirts, t-shirts, etc. So there's a lot of thought that goes into it. The last this year is our 4th year with the same artist, a gentleman by the name of Eric Peterson, who happens to be a club member. And then next year we're going to be doing something different and special to, again, build some of that momentum for next year's anniversary at 40 years.
40 years for anything in this industry is, an amazing milestone.
It's a lifetime, literally.
Right. And it all appears, y'all, that we're going strong. So there will be a 40th. There will be the 39th this year.
Yes.
So Doug, we will. One thing I would like to tease real quick before we get out of here is that the chairman's paddle will be a thing this year.
We're pretty excited about that.
Little tease going on here, but we will have more about that soon. But Doug's chairman paddle will be part of the festivities, and we're going to be able to talk to you about that really soon here. But another last time, Doug, is there anything that we didn't cover? I think we covered everything. Ticket sales, the lottery, the volunteer hearing, which is important. Anything more on the day of? We talked about leaving. Getting there is kind of the same process, right? Because you're gonna have to get dropped off, or take an Uber in, as we heard. Take a cab in. Take a cab in. Don't be afraid of the cabs on the way in either, right, Doug? And
take a cab in, take a city bus in, take a shuttle bus in from one of our shuttle bus sites.
And then the shuttle bus site
all under.
Again, I'm sorry.
That's all under the greattaste.org, and it's /travel instead of /tickets. So all of it is there on the website. We've got an FAQ section on the website to answer some of those obviously frequently asked questions. We do get people that ask questions that are answered on the website, on social media outlets, like how do I get tickets, or where are the shuttles? And I just paste the link. We have it on the website for a reason.
It's up there. Yep. On the website, okay. And then, like you said, a lot of the shuttle locations have food and stuff like that, so y'all can get your food. But also, real quick while we're here, food options. There are going to be plenty again, like normal, right?
Yep, we have a Zarda cuisine. Jason, his name is Jason, and he's passionate about making sure that we have as much variety in the food offerings that we have. Everything from amazing barbecue to Thai and all kinds of food, basic things like burgers and pretzels.
Pizza.
There's pizza. Yep. Glass Nickel comes in every year for pizza. We've got a lot of different food options. We've also got a lot of different NA options too. So for the designated drivers, we do have things for them to consume as well. We don't encourage designated drivers just because it's an event that's focused on one thing, right? Craft beer. And at this point, we have no plan to bring any THC products into the festival either. Even though it is legal in the state of Wisconsin, we're just not ready for that yet. Not ready to mix those two things.
I'm not either. It's not about me, but I feel you, and I feel the club on that. And I love the thought that is put in. And last question, I promise: is there going to be a collaboration station this year?
There is going to be a collaboration station. We're not only proud but excited to bring that back. We've already got breweries signing up to collaborate. And last year we had a couple of really home runs. We had McFleshman's out of Appleton collaborated with Fuller's out of England. We had another one, a brewery that collaborated with I think out of Brazil, another brewery out of Brazil. So we had some really far field participants in the collaboration station. It was very well received by our fans, our patrons at the festival, and we're happy to bring it back again this year.
Yeah, it was fun. And then, a lot of times there was a meet and greet with, whatever brewer was pouring at that moment too.
Yeah.
So it was just it was definitely a vibe going on. And we've had that going on for how many years now? Last year
this will be the second year. Now this will be the second year. Last year's first year.
Okay. It's a decent replacement for the ale.
For the real ale tent?
Yeah.
We'll
leave that.
Yeah, everybody misses real ale.
Okay, good. As long as I put my I miss it too in every year, we'll be good. It may never change anything, but one of the things that we love to say in this industry, Doug, is make sure you tell your brewer or your brewery what you want, right? And
Absolutely.
Right. So that's that's a good part about that. So all right, Doug. Final words here, and
if you've got a brewery that you haven't seen at the festival and you think that they should come, talk to them. Ask them if they are interested. That greattaste.org greattaste.org site has a brewer interest page that breweries can fill out and sign up to participate in the lottery. Again, entrance does not guarantee entrance on the form does not guarantee entrance to the festival. It is a lottery, and it's a lottery for a reason.
Right. And also tell them that they can help with not only they can be part of the economic push that is the Great Taste and the events surrounding the Great Taste. You don't have to necessarily be a venue like Venture. I'm sorry, not Venture, Working Draft or Giant Jones, but you can be like Venture and just be a show up like Venture did last year. But it's all I believe it's all beneficial for both everybody. When more breweries are there, and just to be seen at the Great Taste is just something. You created a buzz. I remember Sway from 3 years ago when they first came, really made a buzz. And I wasn't even at the Great Taste that year, Doug, but I heard about Sway from all of y'all, right? So and then of course I went to Sway and it was amazing, right? But no, the point is though, the Great Taste has that buzz factor where
Absolutely.
it can really create a good buzz for any kind of brewery that makes a great impression on everybody that day. So
And a brewery that doesn't necessarily get into the festival, if they're distributed in state, I would encourage them to contact their distributor and ask if they can work out a tap takeover with the local venue. It's another great way to get some traction, to get their name out there, to get people to come and try their beer, try their blood, sweat, and tears work, even if they don't actually get into the festival. It's another way to be present for the series of events that happens Great Taste weekend.
Yeah, and you probably better be ready to get into the Great Taste the next year, because if you're at one of these taste things and your beer is great, people are going to be like, wait, why can't I find y'all? What's going on? You know what I mean? Like, those questions start to happen. So, like, it's a really wonderful domino effect that can have too, Doug. So, well, thank you, Doug.
Absolutely. It's always great talking to you, Greg.
Absolutely. Always great talking to you. And so then a quick recap. In-person sales are Sunday, May 3rd. At 6 venues. I can actually put those up here real quick. And then right after that, y'all, is the lottery. So here are the 6 venues: Delta Beer Lab, Carbon 4, Vintage on the west side, Giant Jones, Starkweather Brewery, and Working Draft. So we got the east side kind of taken care of. We got the west side and we got the south side with Delta. So check on that on May 3rd, y'all. Each of them have different details. Then after that is the lottery. If you can't make that day, the lottery starts the immediate the online lottery. So you don't have to mail in anything anymore like we used to, y'all. So like online lottery, you can just get on the website if you're not there that Sunday. And then if not, you could jump on the Facebook page, our Great Taste, or I'm sorry, our Madison Homebrewers Club site on Facebook.
It's on Facebook. We are the Great Taste of the Midwest, and it is a private group. That's what you're looking for. So
there's a lot of opportunities, and then a lot of times, y'all. Again, you have to check each venue and each event, right? But there's a lot of breweries giving away tickets. There's a lot of tickets being given away at these events. There's a lot of tickets trying to be sold at these events. People show up at these events trying to unload some tickets too. So there's numerous ways to get y'all way into this wonderful festival, and we will see y'all there, because we know if y'all watching this, y'all gonna want to be there with Doug and I. So check us out, y'all. We'll see you soon, and thanks, Doug.
Absolutely, Greg. We'll see you in August.